Hey, 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 welcome back to the Psychic Soul Healer channel. My name is Laura, and I'm going to do a general message for you all. Now, know that energy could be, can get confused. So just interpret the message as it best resonates for you. I've decided, again, not to do any particular zodiac, just whoever lands on the channel, because I feel like we always have the intention of having it be a specific zodiac. But I have to tell you, I land on a lot of videos that I listen to, and I'm like, I resonate to that zodiac, even though I'm a Virgo. And I'll be listening to like a Scorpio. And possibly because my rising sign is Scorpio, and that's what dictates a lot of my behaviorism. See, here at the Psychic Soul Healer channel, I look at spiritual blocks, karmic lessons, karmic themes, karmic contracts. I actually do look and see how your situation plays out, obviously, but we always want to look at the karmic stuff. We want to look at the spiritual elements of your situation because if we keep reliving experiences that we don't like, then it means that there needs to be healing. It means that there's shadows. It means that there needs to be inner child work. Because when we have wounds from our childhood that we don't integrate, we wind up keep reliving the same experiences. So if you had a parent that you perceived bullied you, maybe again they were an alcoholic, maybe again they were a single parent and just never happy, it doesn't matter the reason. It was your perception. It wouldn't be uncommon that every single situation that you get into winds up being where you feel like you're being bullied or you feel as if you're being victimized. And it's because there's a spiritual element to your situation that needs integration. So that's why I look at the spiritual elements of your situation. Because whether you like the person that you're tuning in for to hear today, tomorrow, next week, next year. Well, a lot of times, if you have wounds, what you'll find is you won't be interested in the same person because as you heal, your wants, your needs, your desires change. See, people tend to get stuck and they get stuck in the past. And it's because they have no view of the future. And they have no view of the future mainly because they don't know who they are. Now, if you don't know who you are, it means that you have shadow aspects of yourself that are blocking you from seeing your true self. And so that would manifest within your behaviorisms, within your habits. And how do you create your life? Through your habits and your behaviorisms. And a habit is the way that you think. So our spiritual blocks are spiritual and emotional, and they're held in the body as stress. It's what determines our energy vibration. So we see a lot of spiritual healing tools that raise your vibration, like singing bowls and tuning forks and crystals and all that. But if you don't change the psychological issue, you will not change your vibrational frequency. You can change it for a certain amount of time where you feel good and you get into that positive mindset. But if you keep reliving the same undesirable life experiences, it's very difficult to hold a high vibration. It just is because there's a sense of, again, high vibration is unconditional love. And if you feel shame or victimized or hurt, fear, if you're holding a vibration of fear, and maybe that is because you keep drawing to you the same types of people or the same types of experiences unfold within your life, then again, this is a channel for you. But just know, I look at the spiritual elements. So we're going to look at your spiritual energy first. Then we're going to look at your situation and see what's going on within your situation. Then we're going to look at the shadow aspects of your situation and how to really integrate those shadows so that you can transcend the limitations of your ego self, the shadow self. The shadow self is held within the subconscious mind. And that is really what is driving the bus, right? It's again, we manifest mainly through our subconscious mind. think of it almost as like an iceberg. See, you only see the tip of the iceberg is above water. That's your conscious mind, that tip. Everything underneath that water is your subconscious mind. And that is what's running the show. So we can reprogram our subconscious mind, but it's very helpful to understand what your psychological and emotional blocks are. Remember, you're only in physical form to learn and to manifest. You're a spiritual being, and the spiritual being is of consciousness. So when they say that heaven will be on earth again, it's through the character of man, through one's consciousness, raising the vibration to a place of unconditional love. Unfortunately, what we're seeing right now is a lot of purging, a lot of, a lot of different opinions and a lot of different, which is creating a lot of fear. We're all supposed to be going to a place of unconditional love. No matter who you are, no matter where you live, no matter what you are. It's again, and yes, if there's aliens among us, then they too need to, again, rise to a place of unconditional love. Because that is the vibration of the universe, my friends. And that energy needs to be able to flow through us, to work through us, so that we can see our supernatural parts of ourselves, be able to co-create with every single person in the universe through our passion, through the love that our passions. All right, so we're gonna first, I almost forgot. We have to choose the word of the day. Every day I pick a card. Every day that I do a reading, I pick a card. And if you resonate with the message, in order to win a free reading with me, all you need to do is like, subscribe, and write the magic word in the description box. Actually, your description box, which would be actually your comment bar. And I will write again underneath your comment winner if I chose you. If I did, again, well, just correspond back and forth on YouTube, but write underneath your comment bar, not the description box. And we would just comment back and forth and figure out the best time that works for both of us. And don't worry about having to find the link, because what I do is I'll post the link in that comment bar underneath where we're corresponding back and forth on. So you'll always be able to find it, because a lot of people, again, that have won, they always get nervous that they're not going to find it, or how do I cash in? How do I? That's all that you got to do. All right. Now, anything that you need to know about the channel, by the way, you can find in the description box, as well as all my other goodies, such as, like, I have a lot of subscriptions on Patreon. So you'll find the Patreon link. I have a mediumship one if you want to learn how to do mediumship. If you want to learn how to do healing work, if you want to do your own shadow work, you want to heal yourself, I have $7.99 package and a $9.99 package. Both packages come with meditation and breath work. So when we're working through your shadow, it's not uncommon to become overstimulated. It's not uncommon to get triggered. You're, again, going back to your wounds. You're looking at your wounds. It descends you back to where you once were. Hey, Ishka. So I'm explaining about our wounds and how, it's when we hold that energy within in our body, it plays out within karmic themes. And a lot of times that's what keeps us blocked from what we're actually trying to create. So again, if you're someone that has experienced the same karmic cycles, you would definitely want to check out one of my packages on Patreon for healing. Again, it comes with breath work and it comes with meditation, because reconditioning the body and mind, when we go through traumatic experiences and we have anxiety, it becomes almost like, oh, I can't help it. It's just what my body does. And so understand, we can reprogram our body and mind, but we have to do that by being consistent. So the $7.99 package gets you 3 times a week where we're doing shadow work every time, and we're doing meditation and breath work every time. For the $9.99 package, it's the same thing, but you're getting that every single day. And with the $9.99 package, you get files. I send you the files so you can actually do your shadow work, especially if you just keep reliving the same undesirable life experiences over and over and over again. So I just wanted to put that out there. You can find my other YouTube channel and my website, all that good stuff, again, in that description box. Now I promise to jump in. This is going to be, again, for anyone that lands on this. We're going to look at the spiritual energy first. About you, what's going on with you? What's your energy? Okay, self-obsession. Self-obsession. Now, I don't take that as a bad way. A lot of times when we are manifesting, when we are creating ourselves, we are very conscious of how we appear. And so there's a sense of that is the energy that I'm feeling with self-obsession. But I also feel like you're triggering someone. Okay. We're also going to use that word, by the way, self-obsession, for you to put in your comment bar. So it's, again, like, share, like, subscribe, and then put the word self-obsession in your comment bar. Forgot to say that. But and that's mainly because I'm feeling, again, you're in a place, again, whoever I'm tuning in for, in a place of creating yourself. So it's not really a bad self-obsession. It's just you're very conscious of what you're giving out, what you want to give out, how you want to be perceived. And that's really important. And I feel like it's triggering someone, again, to make them look at themselves, but in a way that it's making them feel very uncomfortable. So it's, again, and a lot of times it's because you're connected, again, to somebody that is needy. And I feel like at one time you were needy. Again, we're looking at the spiritual energy. And so the spiritual energy could be at one time you were very codependent in past relationship. In a past relationship, all your other relationships, you were codependent. And so what has happened is that you are no longer codependent. You, again, are creating yourself. And I feel like you're very conscious about how you want to be perceived, because you've done a lot of healing work on yourself. However, you're still connected to a soulmate that is needy, and it's triggering them to make them feel uncomfortable. Again, self-denying, but no one is moving forward. I feel as if your person, like, that you're connected to someone that is holding back from you. And there's a sense that you no longer are going to self-deny yourself. That there's a sense of you evolving into a higher state of consciousness. And that is, like, when we do look at ourselves, and when we do hold ourselves accountable, and we are paying attention to how other people perceive us, because we're trying to create ourselves. I feel like, again, you're connected to someone that doesn't know who they are. And so you're triggering them because, again, they thought at one time that they had their life all together, is what I'm feeling. And so they don't. It's magnifying the fact that they don't. And I feel like for you, whoever this is, you're, again, creating yourself, and you are breaking the karmic ties of being needy and really self-denying yourself. Because when we're needy, it means that we're codependent. It means that there's parts of ourselves that, excuse me, parts of ourselves that we don't know. And the parts of ourselves that we don't know, we don't like. So we detach. And then what happens is, because we don't live our true, authentic self, we tend to, again, connect with someone that we perceive can give us whether it's that uh, emotional fulfillment or whether it's financial stability, whatever it is. I feel like at one time, again, as I said, you were needy, you're no longer needy. So it's triggering someone else. And so it's triggering a lot of other people, I feel like. And that happens when you're on your spiritual journey of healing. And I say that because a lot of times when we're on our journey, we are coming from a lower vibration, and that lower vibration is not knowing who we truly are. And we didn't know who we truly are because we were needy. It's again when we that means that we're codependent. It means that we don't feel emotionally safe, we don't feel strong enough, we don't, and that's mainly because we don't know who we are. We're usually with a person that we perceive has all those elements in the beginning, but then over time proves to fall short. And then there's issues within, relationships. So I believe that, again, at one time you both had problems in your relationships. And so when you have a soulmate, there's a sense of really feeling that they're going to save you and going to fix you a lot of times. And then what happens is when we get in the relationship, we realize that they don't fix us, that they don't do that, whatever we perceived was off, that person we could perceive them as our better half or our other half, but there is no such thing as a half. It's and when I say that is because a lot of twin flame soulmates feel as if they're half of that you connected to your other half. That's not the issue. The issue is that you have blocks everywhere where they have gifts and vice versa. So you come into each other's life mainly to teach, to hold up a mirror of each other. And that's the energy here. I feel like the energy has shifted and it's made both of you look at yourself, you in a positive way, because you see your growth, the person that you're connected to not seeing themselves in a positive way. Because again, they're gauging who they perceive they were mainly on their perception of who they thought that you were. So there was a sense that they always wanted to keep you down, like not know your worth. And mainly because they've had problems in their relationship, is a sense of being in control. And when people are needy, they fall for that. So this is saying again that you broke the karmic energy. You broke your karmic contract of being binded, because that's what happens when we wind up in a codependent relationship. They wind up, one where it's needy. Again, there's a sense of it becoming toxic over time. So you again look like you have, like you shifted. Now, does that mean that this person can't rise to your occasion and heal themselves? Okay, yeah, they can, because love is that we learn the spiritual lesson of what unconditional love is when we are motivated by someone comes into our life that we have that connection, and they motivate us, they inspire us, they make us become a better person. Or they can now wind up just settling, being with whoever they want to be. We're going to see, because this is the energy there. The lesson has been learned on your part. You see the karmic gifts that have come with it, because when we are creating ourselves, we're meeting new people. People are perceiving us differently. It's forcing us to, again, tap into the higher elements of our consciousness, which connects us to each other through our passions, through our uniqueness. And again, your person doesn't know who they are. So they're not able to do this. So it's also amplifying what they need healing in. Remember, they were trying to keep you down because they weren't comfortable with the inside themselves. But they were doing was they were thinking they were self-denying you. They were really self-denying themselves, and you staying connected to them was self-denying. So by you stepping away, really And whether or not you stepped away where you said this is over, or whether or not you just disengaged, it's the energy is that you're separate. We're going to see what happened, what has happened in your relationship, where again, to get to create this spiritual energy. And like I said, we're going to see how you feel about the situation, what the hidden truths are. And then we want to see if there are feelings and or negative energy, how that negative energy can be integrated. Because again, there are spiritual blocks here, because this is a spiritual connection, right? Because your person is affected, you're affected. Again, when someone comes into our life that we're connected to and it doesn't go the way that we wanted it to go, or the way that we thought that it would go, and it affects us to the point that it makes us change, you better believe that that's a divine connection. Now, it could be a karmic connection and not a soulmate twin flame connection. Or it could be, like I said, depending on whether or not your person rises to the occasion. All right, so let's just take a look. I want to just shuffle these cards really good. Magician reversed. Wheel of Fortune upright. King of Cups upright. Two of Swords. Nine of Cups. Tower upright. So I feel first and foremost that your person is going to try and come towards you, and they're going to act as if again, the King of Cups is all about, showing affection, giving affection. However, because that Magician is reversed, I feel like they're holding back information from you. I feel like they're not 100% honest. I'm not saying that they don't have feelings. What I'm saying is that the Magician is a little bit of a trickster. They hold back information. They show you what they want to show you. And the Wheel of Fortune going forward, they feel like, again, it's destined that they come towards you at this time. They know that they have to come towards you at this time. So is it 100% like malicious, mean? No, I feel like this person is holding back information from you to make it look a certain way. They don't exactly know how you are going to receive them. This person has been with a lot of judgmental people. They also were taught never to really show their emotions or be able to express their emotions. And now, due to the separation, there's a sense of wanting to express. They want to come towards you and express, and that's what they're going to do. But then there's a sense of them stopping. So they're going to come towards you and, again, show emotion, but they're not 100% ready. They're, again, holding back. So they're kind of coming in to kind of put their foot in the door because they feel as if things are going to change. And so they're hoping, again, that this will be enough for, again, but to be truthful, whatever they're holding back from comes out, because I see the Tower. So when I see the Tower, because again, they come towards you to talk to you, they're holding back information. back. Because that's really what I want to know, because there is a sense of satisfaction. There is a sense where you and this person, again, reconnect. But because they're holding back, and then there's the Tower moment, I want to know what that is. Okay. 8 of Wands, reign of activity. Okay, so again, the promise that 8 of Wands was reversed. So they're gonna promise that they're gonna do a lot, but I don't feel like they are. I feel like that they can't. So there's a sense of almost like wanting Knight of Swords reversed. Yeah. So there's a sense, like I said, that they're going to come in and they're going to promise everything, but then they're not going to really, it's not the right time. They don't have, that they can't give. They're also showing that they have a lot more than they actually do. Like it's showing that they're pretending to have a lot more than they actually do. So this person still does not feel good about who they are. They're still needy because they're still trying to, so what it is that you're creating a lot of attention. You're creating a lot of attention through, again, your job, whatever it is. Maybe you're an influencer. Again, you're doing something within your community. You're doing something, it's creating a lot of attention, which is making this person very uncomfortable. It's making them, again, it's creating a lot of self-obsession, like where they're becoming paranoid. And in that, they rush towards you, but they're not rushing towards you, telling you everything. So if they were in a relationship before you, if they're hiding something, yeah, look, 8 of Cups, moving on. So, and it was reversed, and this was flipped over. So I'm going to take it, because what that is almost like, whether this person was in a divorce or, again, in a previous connection, I feel as if they're going to act as if the relationship is fully over. And when I say fully over, a lot of times a relationship can be over, but there's people that are still lingering. The conversation of it, like, hey, it's over. We're gonna, like, where there's established boundaries and rules where you can then enter into another relationship comfortably, has not been established. So they're going to, like, half truth it, which is what the Magician reverse was, which was, again, and them coming towards you and then not coming towards you and then coming towards you and coming towards you to put their foot in the door, because they haven't 100% moved on from this, whether that's psychologically, emotionally, physically, or all of the above. Is what I'm feeling. Again, yeah, 10 of Cups, and it's going to create, if you're with this person, it's going to create, like, not happy, because they're going to promise the 10 of Cups. And I feel like that's what they're going to come towards you. They're going to say a lot of flowery things. They're going to say a lot of things to make you, persuade you into believing that they're this changed person, that they're this better person, that they care so much about you. And I'm not saying that they don't. I just think that this person isn't on the same vibration as you. I feel like maybe at one time you are on the same vibration as them, and that might not have been where you were always trying to get over on them, but there was a sense of you not knowing who you are. So remember, like goes to like, whether or not you're shady or you just don't know who you are. It's, again, the same energy. Fear is what winds up permeating from a person that doesn't know who they are, or they don't like who they are. So, or again, whatever there's only the two energies. So you're never going to get a good thing. But when you were creating yourself and creating all this attention, it was almost like your person was like, I feel like fuck. Like she or he is getting so much attention. It's like they're being noticed. So, and I know that they're a good thing. And I know also that I didn't do the right thing. So it's also making them look at their behavior. It's making them look at the fact of, why are you out there having a good time and that they're not having a good time? And why aren't you giving them the attention? You must again have meet somebody through the outside. So it's again, they're all up in their head. There's a lot of anxiety there. So this is why they rush in again, and this is why they're coming in a time when they're not fully ready. So they're again shading it. And the problem is that I don't believe that their intention is bad. I just believe that they're selfish. They're not looking at anybody except for themselves. And they just can't make that decision. Let's look at the hidden truths. And I can understand why you are again moving on. And I think that you need to move on. We will be together again. So again, there's this like a little bit of a delusional sense with this person. And I think it's because they knew they could feel the very strong spiritual connection, that there's almost like a sense that and also that they tended to have gotten away with a lot of cheating and like running around, like people, if they've dated people that they've cheated on, those people have given them second and third and fourth and fifth chance. They have a distorted perception of what people are going to do for them when they're in a relationship with them. And that's a lot of times what happens. Oh, it's okay. I'm glad you're back. I wonder if you are happy without me. So this is what I was saying about, that there's this spiritual connection. They already know. I know that we're going to be together again. However, I'm nervous because I also know that I wasn't really there for you. So I am wondering, are you happy without me? And so, because remember, this person has a big ego. They're again, and they have a big ego because they don't really know who they are. There's a sense of being very needy and expecting relationships to go the way that they wanted it to go. So I hide behind material things. So again, telling me, are they going to come towards you? I feel like again, they would have to surrender their ego. I have to finish this. I wish I could share my good news with you. So it's again, I feel like this person's in a power struggle where they want to be with you, but they also are like, again, in being with you, I would have to walk away from whoever they're with fully, which I feel like is a karmic, which is why it's already over. They just haven't like closed the door. They're a little delusional, like I can get that person back if I want to get them back. And the problem is that I feel like they think that with you too. So there's a little bit of an issue there with this person and their ego, because what they're saying is pretty much that they hide behind material things. So they're staying with a connection because of the material things through what it looks like. Because if they were to really walk away, they would have to probably lose, half or whatever it is, more than what they went into the relationship with. So there's a sense of choosing love or money. So we see the block, but then they still, again, care. So I think that you shouldn't be with this person. I'm going to see what you're going to do or what you feel, and then we're going to just look and see. So many things remind me of you. I look everywhere for you. I think that this is this person where they're still in their head about, losing. So there's a sense of their ego, again, being upset because now you're getting a lot of attention. You've moved on. You don't really care. They're stuck with a karmic. So the grass is always greener on the other side. This is pretty much what I'm getting out of this. And I'm sorry to tell such an ugly story, but I want to be able to answer some questions. So I'm going to be honest. I'm not going to beat around the bush. Now, what do you do when you're in a situation with someone that is acting like an ass? I think it's obvious. you have to cut it, because unless the person comes back and surrenders their ego and proves themselves to you, and it should take a really long time, and you should date other people at the same time, just because um, this person like tends to look at things either from you're above them on a pedestal or you're beneath them. Like and it's because they're codependent. It's because they don't know who they are. So hold your vision. So hold your vision and what you want is the moral to the story. Conclusions are within reach. Yeah, conclusions are within reach, which pretty much means hold your vision to what it is that you want. This person isn't it. And, conclusions are in reach, which is obviously you have to end it in order to make space for something new. And sometimes that happens. Sometimes you're dealing with a person that's on a completely different vibration than you, and they again want to control, they want to manipulate, they're so afraid of love, they're so afraid of relationships. There's nothing you can do with that. That's what this story was pretty much. It was, but in fact, they're so broken that they don't even want to look and see what they did. They're like, we'll be together again soon. It's like I can just rush in and put my foot in the door and hold on, because it's like I want to be with you, but I also don't want to let go of the perceived image of who you kind of think I am. And it's like again, there was a sense of all that, and that means that that person doesn't like who they are, and we knew that. And so I would believe that this relationship was just mainly a karmic one. So this was like a past karmic relationship, one that was supposed to teach you about you, one that was supposed to teach you again what to do. Not all soulmates we're supposed to be with, but I can guarantee if you said no to this person, someone new is going to come into your life. I will answer your question. Are you still on, Ishko? I'm going to wrap that up, just because, that like some stories are just that way. You deal with a person that doesn't want to budge. It doesn't mean that they don't love you either. It means that they're just not in a place to surrender their ego and really do the work that they need to do in order to, live their truth, because they don't like what their truth is. And when we don't like what our truth is, it means that we're looking at ourselves through a distorted perception of who we are and not really living our truth. We've made up a story, and that's that shadow. And looking at shadows is scary because it makes people, again, have to feel their emotions, and a lot of people don't want to do that. All right, let's see whether Ishka is going to get this job tomorrow. Please, everybody, wish Ishka that she gets this job tomorrow. She's been in like a little bit of a rut, like of things just happening. We need to have a good spin on, like we need a good luck streak. Don't be nervous. Don't be nervous. What's the worst thing that they could say? No? I mean, don't be nervous. Get out of your head. Get into your body. Six of Wands reversed. Let me see. I don't like that answer. I'm gonna do it again. I hate that. Come on. Well, it can get the job. Please. I just want to clear. I have incense over here. If you see smoke, I'm like, let me just clear these cards. This is a really important question. So I didn't like that first one. I don't think you're going to get it. I hate telling people bad news. I do. I'm sorry. It's like, I feel like, is there anything that you could do to change that outcome? I hate that. That's the part I hate about this job. Hangman. The sun, success. Well, I feel like it's, again, the next job interview that you get, like the next one that you go on that you will get. I'm sorry. Like, I just feel like they may turn around and say, you know what, like, be on hold, or connect you with somebody, that if you could say, well, are there any other like jobs within this department, or are there other jobs, like, I feel like you might get a job through that. But I think that it's, again, I see positive cards after, I mean, happiness and the 10 of Pentacles. There is no better card for that. So it is coming. I just felt like in the beginning, the first cards out were not positive. They were not. So I cleared it again, and I saw, but I'm kind of feeling like it's not this next one, but it's the one after, and I hate that. Well, and that's true. I believe that, Chanel Hayes. I like your name. Like, it's true. It's like that better days are coming. I hate giving people bad news, especially when it comes to a job, especially when I know they've been through a bit of, turbulent times. And that's why I was saying, it's like, I feel like it's coming. It always feels like when we have wounds in a certain area, like in money or in relationship, but especially money, that it's going to take a long time. Like, we get this energy of we know that it's nervous. We get so nervous and we push away, actually, the opportunity sometimes. So maybe try and do some yoga, do some breath work before you go to the interview, because I feel like it's like you're nervous. You said you are nervous. I know that you would be nervous from past readings that I've done for you. So that's why I'm saying it's unfortunately, for all of us people that are sensitive, those type of situations are overstimulating. So much emotion, so much thought, so much emotion causes overstimulation, which makes us nervous, which then we can't really express ourselves as well as we want to. We cannot. So do breath work, do meditation, right? Set yourself up for success is what I would tell you. And understand that might be that you have to get into a daily practice of doing that. So when the next interview comes, you'll be on it. Because remember, I look at the wounds. I look at what's blocking you. So understand, if you're like, well, I always get the job that I don't like, or I always get the person that I don't like. It's when it's what I like that I can't seem to hold on to, or I can't seem to obtain. There's a sense of feeling that that's all that you can have. And that's not a truth. That's a perception due to whatever you've gone through. So you can have whatever it is that you want, whether it's this job, the next job, another job. We have to say, why don't you get the job? And because understand, this is a psychic soul healer channel. I look at the wounds. So is what's happening important? Yes, it's always important. However, if we have blocks in an area, we want to integrate those blocks so that we can get a different outcome the next time around. So I hope that that's helpful, because like I said, I just feel as if, you'll, the next one that you go on, or really do that meditation. Let's ask Spirit, if Ishka does the meditation, will she get a better outcome? that just goes, I'd say yes. See, there's many different realities that play out at one time, depending on what you do. It is going to be your outcome. Any other questions? Does anyone have any other questions? Any other questions before I close this out? I want to change the energy and sign off and jump on again. Or maybe I just stay on again. Maybe I just stay on again. All right, let me clear the energy a little bit. Okay. Let's see if you're connected to someone. Let's see what's going on in your connection. Everybody, if you don't, there's one coming. Everybody. What do you mean, everybody? That song. Rock your body. Okay. Don't want to hear me sing. Childhood wounds is influencing my actions. Just looking and seeing. I think that's for everybody, by the way. I think that everybody lets their inner child influence their actions. That's what the problem is. So if you have wounds with, again, feeling validated, if you have wounds in feeling like just safe within your relationships, a lot of times I came from childhood. What is this? You asked if anybody had questions. Is that yes? I asked if yes. Anybody, you too. Yes. Everybody, whoever wants to. Oh, I feel bad. I feel bad for Ichka. Yes, if you want, of course, if you want to ask a question. Otherwise, I'm just going to do, again, messages for anyone. Again, anyone that lands on this. I like to do, like, again, the storytelling. Again. All right, so I'm just going to jump in and I'm going to do a story. So if you write your question and I don't answer it right away, it's because I can't, jump on and off where I answer questions and do the story at the same time. Then it gets very boring to watch. So you can imagine, right? I'm kind of complete stop. What is going on with the rest of my year look like? I do psychic soul healing. So what I can tell you is that if you're at a complete stop, it's because there's nothing, you're not really motivated. You're not really doing enough to get inspired within. And that could be, you don't really know what you're supposed to be doing. See, before there's anything, you're a spiritual being. And so what does that fucking mean, you might say? Well, it means that there's no energy, there's no meaning to money except for the energy that you give it, right? So money needs to be attached to your purpose, to your soul's purpose, to your passion. Again, your unique individuality. And so there's parts of you that I feel like you get a job and it works okay for a certain amount of time, and then it's like it doesn't. Then there's a relationship and then it goes okay and then it just doesn't. So, of course, it's like this stop, go, because you're the one driving your car. Meaning, spirit is supposed to drive your car. When it says, Jesus, take the wheel, what the fuck does that mean? Well, what it means is you're living your bliss. You're doing what you love. So you're living out of alignment with the laws of nature, the laws of the universe, because it all starts with you first. And so you know what you like to do. I feel like you're a very spiritual person. I feel as if you're very like creative in your own right. I feel like you like to put things together and make them like look all pretty. There's a lot of different things that you can do in the art field, such as interior design, such as fashion, such as, and then there's also the spiritual part. So being that, it's like you're not really as interactive in your life, then life is at a stop and you're like, I don't really know what I want. I don't really know what I'm supposed to do. And that is only because you're overstimulated. And overstimulation is, I'm thinking so much about it. I'm trying to figure out the answer and I don't know. It's just in my head because I don't know. And spirit says, well, that's because you're doing my job. You're supposed to be like childlike. You're not like childlike. So it's again, it's everything serious and so you're at a stop. I gotta tell you what's blocking you, Chanel. Otherwise, it's again, you're gonna just do the same thing and get the same result. Yes, you can get another job. Yes, will you get another job? Yep, you'll get another job. Will you love it for a little bit of time? And the spirit saying, I don't like that. God says, I live inside of you as gifts of the Holy Spirit. It's about giving and receiving of love through what you're passionate about, and you're not kind of doing it. And then you meet a person, and then you give too much, or you don't give anything, and then people are not really who they say they are, and then it's like you get hurt, and then it's just like I don't really know. And then Spirit says, this is the issue. It's because it all starts with you. And God says, me first, I'm a jealous God. That's through you first. And that's through first setting yourself up for success. You're sensitive. You get stimulated. You're passionate. You have a lot of feelings. You get up and do a daily ritual of, again, breath work and meditation, and then join things that you're passionate about. It's like, you know what you like, take a few classes on Udemy, take a few classes online. It's again, find yourself. The kingdom of heaven's inside of you. You have to become it and create it. Otherwise, I wouldn't like to tell you what your life would look like in the future without this advisory. It's going to look the same as what it looks like now. Why would it look any different? It would only be, it's not that someone else is going to come into your life and change your life. I mean, that might change it for a little while, but then most likely you wouldn't like it after a while because number one, we grow out of things. It's just the way that things go. And number two, Spirit says it's me and you. We have to have a relationship. You're down there in physical form to learn you're not separate from me. Through seeing your life through different perceptions, you have shadows. The shadow aspects are what's blocking you from your true self. So this is why we don't do those type of readings that you're saying, well, what's going to happen in my life? It's like, because I wouldn't like what fully what was going to happen in your life. I'm an advisor. I want to tell you how you're going to get everything that you want in your life. It's like, that's how this channel works, because we already know what happened. So I am hoping I'm making sense to you. But of course, we want to see also what the fuck's going on in your life, because we just do. But we want to also take this advice into consideration because you're living out of balance and you're not happy because you're like, okay, like I feel like it's always the same story. I feel like I'm blocked. And Spirit's saying, you are. And it's okay that you are. So that's what that is. So, okay, but like 3 of Cups, if you do what it says, look at that, 3 of Cups. I like that. So I see that you're going to go again, a lot more networking, but I feel like, again, don't throw your eggs all in one basket. 7 of Pentacles reversed. So coming out of disappointment, I like that. And back into 3 of, look at this. That was 3 of Cups. Now you got 3 of Pentacles. So I do feel as if, again, if you take that advice, you will, again, because you are a highly sensitive person, you're going to intuitively, again, know what works for you. I feel like you're coming out of disappointment. So the 3 of Cups, more again, where going out more, I feel like. I'm 30, have been an electrician for 6 years, and I love it. And there is much more I have planned. I got out of a relationship 2 years ago. After that, everything went downhill. Every door is no, I feel like again, it's so that's what I'm saying. You want to meet somebody. Do you want to meet somebody? You have to again do more than just your job. There needs to be more passions in life. So if you're an electrician and you like it, maybe teach it. So you, because the whole point is that you're looking to go and find somebody. That was a trauma when that person left. And so my issue with that is that you're like, well, I really thought, that that was going to work out. And so which that whenever we have something that questions our reality, that's what considers like a trauma. And you're welcome. But my thing is, it's like if you again raise your vibration by investing in you, giving you love, then you let spirit guide you and you meet the right person. And then you're like, oh, I understand why I didn't actually wind up with that person that I wanted to be with. There's a sense of real abandonment, real upsetting, real pain, because again, that's it brought up a lot of shit from childhood if you want to know the truth. And so we can't heal on our own. And what does that mean? Well, when we invest in ourselves, we try and go out and heal. But understand the universe brings you people, situations, and experiences that change your mind and your heart about how to again get what you want. It's puts you in situations that make that happen. Where right now, because there's such a sense of looking for it, there is a fear like it's not going to happen. So that's why you were told that information. Well, first of all, I for it to be more the most ethical and help you the best way, because that's what this channel is about, healing your wounds to get what you want. Because again, we've gone through an experience that now we feel like I'm jaded, I'm broken now. There's something that is not working now. Where spirit says no one can make you feel that way. That was there before this person. In actuality, the relationship broke up, and now it's making you look at those things, but no one should have been able to make you feel that way. So that's why we're telling you what you need to do to heal so that you can get that relationship that you want. Because it's not just about like going to the job and coming home and going to the job and then coming home. And hey, if your passion is to create more within again your electrician company or whatever, then that's a passion. I don't care if that's because guess what? You'd have to network, you'd have to meet people. And remember, God doesn't just work through you through gut intuition, inner knowing. It works through your environment when you're least looking at it. And so you're coming from a high vibration. You're again creating yourself, and you're meeting people that are viewing you from that perception. And that is what gives boundaries, because you're not giving the person the whole pizza pie, which is what you did in the last relationship, because you're like, that's why I'm having trouble, because I gave so much that it's what my best wasn't good enough. It's like, no, spirit says your best was good enough, but I'm a jealous God that you gave to that person, when meanwhile you have a wound, there's a shadow there, and you're like, oh, I didn't know. Right, that's why that's what spirit is saying, exactly that. Exactly that. That you again were you're looking for love, but you never loved yourself. So right, and that's why that is happening. That's what your cards are saying. So that's why spirit's saying is you don't have a problem meeting somebody. You're a great catch. It's like you're a great catch, and spirit saying that's the perception, that's the wound that's distorting your perception, which is keeping you stuck, which is making you see yourself in that limitation. That's a shadow. If you put your pants on like a shirt, it's going to look retarded too. It's like, and not even retarded, because retarded is the wrong word. It's like, because it will look wrong. That's an 80s word. Like, you know what I mean? Like when we used to say that back in the 70s and 80s, but like, it'll look like bad. It'll look like that there's something wrong with you because you are not looking at it or wearing the shirt the way that it's supposed to be worn. Well, it's the same thing when you look at a relationship, but understand the body is the mind's faithful servant. So you may say, well, why do I still have all this anxiety? Why is this happening? And Spirit saying, because the fight, flight, or freeze. And there's a reason why we say stuck and stupid. It's because it's like, I can't think. It's like I'm overstimulated now. Now I'm thinking, and Spirit said, get out of that mindset. Like, lose yourself in what you love. Believe me, life will unfold in a completely different way and bring you into a different way. And because these cards are good, this is us. This is going out and networking and meeting new people. This is coming out of disappointment because it was reversed. And if you look at the word, it's disappointment. And then look at this, because you're appreciated. So you're just stuck because, again, like, you gave a lot, you were traumatized by that experience, but that problem was there prior. And Spirit saying that person's not allowed to give you that. It's, again, that you'd be codependent and you grew up in that and that didn't work. And that's what you promised yourself that you were never going to do. So you're actually breaking generational karma, even though it sucks doing it. It doesn't mean, but that's, you're only halfway through your learning of that. It's, again, the other part of learning about healing the shadow is to integrate it, where Spirit's saying, I don't see the end result. The end result means that you see yourself differently, the experiences differently, and it's because you understand. So I hope that was helpful. Ishka, I don't know if you're back. I know you were asking me about your job. And Chanel, you got to like the video. You got to like, I'm trying to grow this channel. Damn it. You got to help me. You know, it's not that easy to do it. Yeah, I'm fine. Okay, I want to make sure that you were still there. So what was your question? Because I don't know. I want to ask about this company too. Can you see if this company will be willing to settle out my expected salary level? What does that mean? Like, will they pay you the same amount? I'm not sure what the question is. You know, I probably should know. Good. I'm so glad. And you're going to come back and you're going to tell me. You're going to tell me, yay, girl, I got so many people that are interested in me that I got so many options. Now I'm confused. Because that may be a part of it too, because when you become less, you're going to be, you know what I mean? You're going to be like, I got a lot of different options. And the Spirit's going to say, of course you do. You see, you're only looking in that little cookie jar. There's a whole buffet table over there. Right? It's like, and you're going to be like, oh, now I really get to choose. And that's because and you're getting those people to treat you different, show you different. And that's what the healing really is, that you're like, oh, I see a different outcome. Oh, I see myself differently. Oh, I can have this. And that's how you recreate a neurological pathway in your mind. So I'll be looking forward to hearing. All right. So, yeah, would they be willing to pay my expected salary level? That's what I thought you were asking. I'm sorry. If they hire you, I for whatever reason, I don't feel like that would be a problem at all. Like, I don't feel like that would be a problem. No, I feel like, listen, you're gonna have to, again, communicate it a little bit more, even though you said it already, which might be you need to like sell yourself a little bit. And I notice a little pattern here. Like, you keep being asked to do that. You keep being asked to set boundaries. You keep being put into uncomfortable situations. So, but yes, Like, I feel like you're going to have to sell yourself though, unfortunately. Like even though you might have put it in there, you might have already said it there, it's you might have to again sell yourself a little bit. And I just feel like you keep being put into a place that's calling you to, you know, for the internal strength. And that means that you have wounds there. Hey, listen, like I said, I look at the blocks. I'm going to tell you, why wouldn't you get it? Right. And that's, they know that. They know that. Yeah, that's really what it is. And that's because it's like you know that you're deserving of it. And I think maybe practice saying it like maybe in a nice way, like maybe in a maybe not in it's not like a super nice way, but in a direct way where you're like again, you're trying to sell yourself in a way that you motivate a person that this is what they should be doing because this is what you bring to the table. And I think it's because you have blocks where you have not been coming from your true sense of self, where you know what you're worth, but you haven't for a long time, you didn't. And now that you do, it's like you're being challenged. The universe will challenge you, will put you back in those situations that it's like, fuck, why am I back here? Didn't I learn this already? Why is it the same story that I have to defend myself? It's like, and spirit says, oh, because you see how crazy you're getting because of that energy that shouldn't be there. And the more times that you do it, the more times it becomes easier. So it's, I think it's not so much that you won't say it. I think that sometimes now that it's like for a long time you wouldn't say it. And now that it would either be that you say it too much or you won't like, hey, listen, I need it. Like, or you're not going to say anything at all. And it's like, well, now what the fuck? It's like, why can't I get the right mixture? And then spirit says, well, it's again because of that nervous energy. We have to do a little breath work ourselves. Again, highly sensitive people, you're out in the world. You have to realize it's again, if you're being put into a situation and this situation arises for you, it can happen. It's karmic. Every situation's karmic, meaning how are you going to play it? What are you going to do? If you go left, you're going to meet people and situations and experiences that are much different than if you go right. So it's you know what the reality is, what it is that you want. You hold the image, you quantum jump, and you quantum jump by again making it a reality, saying, well, this is what I have the issue with. This is what makes me not feel comfortable. And let me tell you, Ishka, humor. Humor is the key. Otherwise, you'll be like too tense. And that's because it's again, that's how we come off. So funny. Funny is the way to go. Yeah, I left the HR people know today as well that I'm open to negotiating it since they're literally suggesting me half of what, yeah, that's why I said you're going to have to sell yourself. I think, do I believe in generational curses? I do, but I don't believe in it being called a generational curse. I believe that you're born into families, and those families have behaviorisms and habits, the way that they dealt with stress. They were born into societies that wars were going on. Some were being victimized. Some were being told that they couldn't be on this bus at the same time that these people were on the same bus. That it's again, everybody was born with into societies that were fucked up. Everybody was born into families that had formed behaviorisms and habits that were in alignment with those situations. So we inherit that. So yeah, like I do believe that because what is a generational curse? There is no such thing as curses from the spirit in real life. It's where you choose to put your mind. Right? So if I was programmed and it's a habit because I watched my mother do it, it's the way that they dealt with stress. It's the way that and now you're doing it. So what you're doing it what you're doing is you're creating the same life experiences as they did, which makes it look like a generational curse, an ancestral curse. So when we say we're breaking ancestral karma, which is what I told you before, I said you're breaking generational karma. I said because you're again, becoming, you'll create your own business. You're gonna go big within your dreams. That's not the problem. The problem is relationships because of, look at the bloodline, look at what has happened. And so what you do is, like I said, by you actually finding your passion, you're not looking to make somebody else, again, somebody else isn't supposed to bring you the happiness, and you're not supposed to be vice versa. You become whole, you live whole. Your family members didn't 100% live whole because, again, the perception was not that. It was that you were supposed to live in alignment where somebody was subservient to somebody else. And in that, that person was not really happy and no one was really happy. So that each and every single person has their own unique individuality. And we're supposed to, again, have our own expression within the world. And what has happened with family karma and generational karma, a lot of times, it's they were too busy surviving. And it was because they weren't coming from their true sense of self. And their true sense of self is, again, to be filled with that passion, to find themselves where you, again, said, well, I found it, which we knew, but we also knew that you didn't have a passion. And so that passion, by the way, will influence your money, because when you're actually in your true self, you become a magnet for it, but you would actually be doing more within your business. And that doesn't necessarily mean be working on houses and everything, but interacting with people to become maybe the face, the whatever, to sell your say, to and then meet people. And that is how you actually change, because it's a collective process, meaning spirit is bringing you all the situations and experiences that are forcing you to be different, to step it up, to in becoming yourself, to become your true self, that all of a sudden you turn around, you are not the same person. So obviously you have broken the generational curse of whatever you inherited from them, which would be their behaviorisms, their habits, their addictions, their whatever their spiritual blocks, psychological blocks were. But no, their blocks were created because they went through major shit. It's not like they just were, oh, you're just crazy. No, that's not really what happened. They lived through experiences that made them, again, like step out of alignment with their true self. Some people were bullied, some people were victimized, some people were, again, they every it was the way that the world is. And that's really truly how the world still is today, where it will want to show you how to be and make you live amongst their rules and their, but we have the actual power to transcend their rules. We have to live from our true sense of self, though. And we can't do that if we're all blocked up with shadows, right? And blocks, because then we're forming behaviorisms that are going to be supported to that sense of self that we perceive that we are. And it's actually that those things that are blocking us from the unconditional love that we're supposed to be able to give and receive so freely, which actually makes us break that generational karma, because generational karma is just situations and experiences that, like I said, that we were supposed to learn from. And really, karma is not good or bad. We perceive it as bad. But when we say karma, we know that it means learn. So yeah, I think that we're living in times that we have to do that now. Does anyone have any other questions before I head off? I think I'm gonna wind it down. Nope. All right. I think I'm gonna close off. Thank you for sharing your energy with me. Very nice to meet you, Chanel. I really want you to stay in contact. Ishka, let me know about that job. Let me know about, again, that pay. And you're going to have to sell yourself again, but you'll get it. I know that it's not exactly the easiest, but because it's going to stir up a lot of crap. Again, this isn't fair. I shouldn't have to ask. They should sell. And so find your balance in asking. Like I said, I feel like the only way that you wouldn't get it is if you came across like too much. Like, you need to pay me again, like too assertive. Be fun. It's again because people don't know how to handle that. They like they're not they it's like you're not, no one's taking anything personally. It shows that you're not really sad. Thank you. I'm so glad that you enjoyed it. I hope you subscribe to the channel. We're gonna have a lot of thank you so much. I'm gonna have a lot of little games and things that go on here. But it's all about healing our shadow. It's all about being able to create your life, because know this: what you want today is not what you want tomorrow. You're continually changing, but those blocks remain the same. And so without healing them, we can't transcend the limitations of what the world tells us. And really, we're down here to learn we're not separate from God, really, by seeing ourselves through all different perceptions and by raising our consciousness to unconditional love, because that's all what God is. It's an energy, it's a consciousness, and we all have the power to have that consciousness within inside of us. And when we do, and we live from that level of consciousness, we're able to create our heaven on earth. That's the promise. I'm going to leave it there for you. Thanks again for joining. Let me know how it all goes, and I'll talk to you all soon. Bye.